This video is brought to you in association with Fantasticon at Country Park Inn, Kingston upon Hull, the 24th and 25th of October. For more information, visit www.fantasticon.co.uk. Alright folks, Rick will again back in with another Doctor Who review. And I know a lot of people have been excited about this week's episode, mostly because Maisie Williams is in it, which I can understand. And let's be honest here, it has to be better than last week's. But isn't the title a bit of a giveaway? Is there a big spoiler there? You know, it's called The Girl Who Died. What's going to happen, do you reckon? Well, let's jump into the plots and find out. Okay, so if the title's not enough of a spoiler warning, I'll give my own here. Let's talk plot. So, the Doctor and Clara get captured by Vikings. The Vikings get raided by the Mirror, are they called? Mirror something? And then Maisie Williams' character declares war on them, meaning the Doctor has to turn a whole bunch of farmers into soldiers. I'm not sure that really fits the Doctor, but at least there's a plot there. And the big set piece where the farmers prove themselves better than the soldiers, that's kind of cool. And the fact that only the storyteller can win, maybe a bit self-aggrandizing by Stephen Moffat. But leaving that a little bit aside, yeah, I think it worked quite nicely. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. As long as the characters work within it. Let's check that. Shock horror, Peter Capaldi was also in this. He's actually really nailed every episode this year. He's been the best thing on screen almost every time. With the exception of those first two stories where Missy stole the show for me. But he had such great moments in this. Some dodgy ones in this too. I mean, I'm still not sure how I feel about him being able to talk to babies. And the way he's willing to break his own rules. Especially when he's teaching them to be warriors. That's pretty much as undoctorish as you can get. But that's what he's been doing in this one, so it was handled well, at least that's something. And there's been good stuff too. I mean, that moment with the hook, that was epic. That was a wonderful moment. I may not like Clara, but that was a great moment. And the big loses every time speech. He's fed up of losing. That was so good. That was so good. I really loved that. That was the highlight of the entire episode for me. Big thumbs up on that one. Especially with what it led him to do. Which was pretty much out of character with the Doctor, but almost got away with it. And especially when he instantly regretted it. Which leads us into next week, which is a great setup. Best setup for a part 2 so far this series, I'd say. So I was worried she was going to steal the show again. Thought we were going to get the Clara show all over when she got teleported up, and thought that's where the episode was going to focus. Thankfully it didn't. I'm very pleased with that. She was still a little bit annoying, but mostly she was supporting the Doctor. And was essentially, she believed in him. And that's what sort of got everything going. The little bit about the baby stopping crying, that was a little dodgy, but yeah, overall, I can't complain too much about Clara this week. Yeah, there seemed a lot unexplained here, so this may be the longest section of the video. We're going to start by talking about the villagers, then we'll move on to Shilda. because that's where the main interest lies. Let's get the villagers out of the way to start with. I mean, start with the warriors getting killed at the very beginning. That was a cool scene. We learned next to nothing about them, but we weren't meant to, so that's okay. And we also didn't get to learn much about the other villagers. We got nicknames for them, which were mostly based on what they looked like, but we got no personalities to many of them. Lofty a little bit, but even that was only a little bit. But that was okay. I'm okay with that, because that seemed to be done intentionally. So hey, I'm not going to knock them for turning their weakness to an advantage there. It did feel like a community. I do have to say, it did feel like a community, which I thought worked really well. But then there's Ashilda. Okay, I enjoyed her character. I did. Don't get me wrong. I liked the fact that she was the storyteller. I thought that worked really nicely. And the fact that she saved the day was really good. It was meant to be her story. It set her backstory up very well. Clearly it's going to get paid off next week. But that does still leave us with problems this week. Firstly, the visions. So she saw all them warriors were going to die. And then there was no mention of her visions ever again. Why did we get that? And seriously, you're pushing the hybrid angle with her. I mean, that's an interesting idea, I suppose, but you're really pushing it by trying that. That really doesn't work for me. I like the character, I enjoyed the character. But one good thing about her immortality. The way she woke up after death was almost exactly like how Captain Jack wakes up after death. Which is a really nice touch, I thought. I liked that. I approved that. It's about all I approved, though. Shame. She had so much potential. Hopefully it'll be paid off next week. So, here we are with the knockoff Sontarans, essentially. The Poundland Special Sontarans. Yeah, they were a bit dull, weren't they? Really quite meh. Nothing particularly wrong with them. I mean, I liked the way they drank. They squished people down and turned them into adrenaline for them to drink. That was cool. But overall, yeah, I'm not really bothered about them. I'd be happy never to see them again. I mean, so are we saying their technology can make you immortal? Because if that's the case, why aren't they doing that to themselves? Or does it take a genius like the Doctor to do it? And if so, why hasn't he done that so many times before? Doesn't quite work for me, that. All because of these things. I did like, however, how they were being viral videoed to death. That seemed very Doctor Who to me. I liked that. Okay, so there were not interesting baddies. There was nothing particularly new to the episode. I mean, her coming back to life like that was kind of Captain Jack, and there was an Eighth Doctor story in the Doctor Who magazine comic strip. Sort of handled this seemingly very similarly. So yeah, and the ripples in time, that was straight out of the Seventh Doctor. And reversing the polarity of the neutron flow. I mean, I loved getting that line, but yeah, we really didn't seem to get anything new in this episode, did we? Which is a shame. I mean, Maisie Williams was really good. Peter Capaldi was awesome. So I'm not saying there isn't bright sparks in this. I mean, frankly, there was nothing wrong with the episode. It just wasn't much to write home about. I think the official word for this sort of thing is meh. Okay, I'm calling it a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, it was a big step up from last week, but it was still so bland. Hopefully all the setup work here pays off next week, because I'd really like a two-parter with a second part a bit stronger. Hopefully we've got that next week. Let's find out then. Till then, see thee.